Hello, YouTubers, one and all. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining us. Sorry about that. Let me go silence my phone here. All right, so you may be wondering, okay, what is this guy really about and why is he live? All right, I'm hoping to bring you more information like this, whatever information you may ask. So media, as the name suggests, technical media group is about media content. Media from a perspective, okay, well, what's going to be set up for hardware and software, audio and video. Can be on-site event, can be off-site, can be virtual event, can be different scenarios being designed based on what the need is. Now, what I would like to do for this live stream, my first live stream here, I want to see how well this actually flow with the audience, is that I would like to start designing different scenarios as far as the layout for different streaming scenarios. So for instance, let's say you're gonna be live streaming an event from a location. What would that setup looks like from connectivity stance for both audio and video, all right? In this scenario is that I recently did a live stream for a funeral service. And as you know, funeral service is one of those things where it's just, for once they get started, that's it. There's no second take or say, hey, you know what, stop the eulogy and start over again, get a second take and adjust light and everything else. So I want to show you my layout, and feel free to make comments if it's something that can be improved on. Feel free to do so. If it's something that you think did very well, of course, let me know, and so on, all right? So I'm gonna switch my scene here. I'm gonna show you my scene that shows me the actual image. And let's talk about the workflow here, all right? Let me just make it a bit smaller so I can see the whole thing. I'll stand by here. All right. So I endeavor this professional funeral live stream. This doesn't have to be limited to funeral. Probably should change the name to make it more generic. So it'd be more like a technical workflow signal pad. So in this case, what I had is that I'm using I have an iPhone camera, which is as far as the input side. Let's talk about the video side of it first, okay? And the camera, of an iPhone camera, camera is going to be running either the native app or the Blackmagic app, and that is just going to be on a wide shot, and that could be facing the congregation or facing the attendees who work for that funeral service. All right, that data is transmitted wirelessly via the Spark. The Spark 4K, that's the device I'm using to transmit wirelessly back to the switcher, okay? Now, the second camera is a PTZ camera. Of course, that is actually facing the shots in terms of picking up the pastor, if somebody want to be going up to make a speech, eulogy, and then one family member who actually are on stage, all right? So that's what that PTZ actually pick up. All right, that's the wired in via, I think I did STI wired in for this one. And for my control, I also have my Ethernet cable connected for my controller, which is to represent the joystick controller, which will control the different shots. I do have presets set based on where people are standing on the stage or in front, okay? For the other piece of it now, I do the road goal tool is what I'm using at the front to pick up the pastor as he's talking, and that also is wirelessly transmitted back to the receiver, which is connected directly to the in this case I actually had a mixer, which is not yeah, that's there. So it's connected back to the mixer for connectivity. All right, so that's bring us audio in from the road goal, the video from the PTZ camera as well as from the iPhone. Okay. Now, I did decide to use a Spark 4K because that one actually has zero latency, and it also is battery operated. So the iPhone is battery operated and the transmitter is battery operated. So that setup right there gives me a complete wireless setup at the front, so I can capture for the let's say again for the congregation shot. And of course, you're going to make sure that those are fully charged before you actually have those in place. And of course, you're going to have a backup plan if you need to have stuff that needs to be, something die, need to be plugged in. But normally, funeral services normally last about 2.5 hours. I've tested those, and those can give me, like the iPhone with the camera feed, I can probably safely get about 4.5 hours. For the transmitter, the 4K, Spark 4K transmitter, that one I can actually go ahead and get, I'm thinking about 2.5, 3 hours on that one. Okay. So coming back to the inputs now, on the input side, I have the, let's say, input one on the video switcher would have the feed for the wireless camera. Input two will be PTZ camera, and then input 3 and 4. This is a four input switcher. Input 3 and 4 not shown accurately here. Maybe it is on the right hand side there. That probably need to redraw this a bit because it's not completely accurate based on what I did. 3 and 4 is actually plugged to my laptop. Now you may wonder, okay, well, why do I have 2 inputs from my laptop plugged to a switcher? What's the need for that one? So on the, what I'm using those for is that I'm running the, I use one with ProPresenter, which they can actually use for my lower thirds, and any content I might have to be displayed on the screen. But it's mostly used for lower thirds that actually will be overlaying whatever image is selected, whether it's be the image that's showing on the wireless camera, the iPhone, or the PTZ camera. My second input is actually being assigned to another software on my laptop that's called Ecamm. It's a map-based software, which is what I'm actually using now to present. Very good software, love it dearly. And that software allows me to send output to my, that sends my output as well, my video to the switcher. What can I send? So with Ecamm, I can use Ecamm to send things such as if I have a slide I want to show, like in this case, I want to show the image of the person who passed away. I may have a slideshow. So normally in our setup, what we'll do is that we'll actually, prior to starting 15 minutes before the actual service starts, we'll play a slideshow on loop for the people online, and that will actually be played by Ecamm. So I can have all those going, different software going at the same time. For the Ecamm software, I can actually use my iPad to control that based on the scenes I selected. Same goes for the ProPresenter. I can still use my iPad as well to control that one, because the ProPresenter has a software called ProPresenter Remote, which is an excellent software. All right. Looking back at the switcher side, as far as the or the mixer side, I should say, is that all I have is I just need to send I need to have an input from the laptop, which will actually play video as needed. Now, just enough in this case, I did not actually play a video from the laptop, is that the switcher I was using is capable enough to actually have me upload a video there, and then actually I play the video directly from the switcher. Now, so that saved me. I don't necessarily have to have a second input from the laptop. I could just need the one for the lyrics or for the lower thirds, such as your title and so on. The mixer itself is for connectivity wise. I do have the wireless receiver connected to the mixer. Let's say we put that on input 1 or microphone 2, and that one actually, so you have separate controls for that going in, for that feed that coming in. Now for the audio playing out, what I'll do is that the slideshow I'm playing does not have audio. I don't think it's a slideshow, images only. And then I'm actually playing audio from my laptop. So in this case, I'm using a program called DGA Pro, and I'm playing a playlist of songs that are appropriate for a funeral service. That audio is being transmitted from there's a cable missing. There should be a cable here that's attached from the mixer to the laptop. That cable is not there. So via USB, I'm connected to the laptop or the mixer. So that allows me to transmit the audio from the laptop to the mixer and a separate input. So therefore that gives me control as well of that input, as well as the input for the microphone. And then from there now I have an output going from the mixer, and that is connected to the input of this switcher, video switcher. Okay. Video switcher, I mean, for me, I like hardware encoder. So I use the video switcher as force. That's streaming to my favorite platform, which is Restream. And then from Restream, I actually go ahead and send that out to YouTube. I like Restreaming in the middle because Restream allows me to see what the feed looks like. I can listen to hear what the audio looks like then, confirm everything is good, and then go ahead and turn the destination on and send that out to YouTube. So that is a setup I have. I mean, I move myself out of the way, so make sure I didn't forget anything there. All right, that talks about the cable. Okay, all right. So that's basically the setup. So feel free, if you have a question, feel free to post your question. Comments, I'll welcome those. I will go ahead and make correction to this image because, of course, the routing isn't accurate because there's more involved in it. I created this before going on site, but while I was on site, I had to adapt a bit to make a few changes there. And you'll find this in different scenarios. As you tend to go to different event, you find, okay, well, this is your game plan as far as what you're gonna do. And on site, something changed and you pretty much just have to adapt. So the key thing to always be prepared for those scenarios. So we're gonna bring extra equipment such as your cables. If we need to bring a backup equipment, of course, you have your video switcher, you have your backup mixer. We're gonna have a camera there as well. So feel free to make your comments, appreciate those. And if you have something you'd like to see more layout like this, or if you have scenarios that you want to post and say, okay, how would a layout look like, then you can feel free to post those and I'll create a drawing for those, and then we can go ahead and discuss them. Hopefully we may be able to do live one-on-one, have someone maybe join a Zoom call with me, and we can discuss what pros and cons of doing things different ways. And of course, we're going to do things to the best of our ability, and of course the industry standards. Once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Give it a thumbs up if you like this content. If you'd like to see more, please let me know. Again, this is Michael, name is Michael Drummond, if I didn't say it before, and this is with the Technical Media Group. Thank you.